is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 14. And Yahweh power said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, for season, for days and years." Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakah Kodash. Right? Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Right? Peace and salutation to all the elect Akim, pushing the word in sincerity and truth throughout the four corners of the earth. Right? This is the brother Tazawa from the Trinidad GMS camp coming back to shed a little more light through the spirit and power of the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh, not through the spirit and power of Jesus Christ. Right? To a little edification on when is the true 7th day of the month. Right? Going back to the Sabbath, the true Sabbath of the month, because it's something that people seem to, get stumble and get lead away by. So hopefully by the end of this lesson I could enlighten, those who will receive it, providing that the Most High shed the spirit of awakening upon them. Right? So I now read there Genesis 1 and 14, and I read it over again. And God said, which is Yahweh power said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for a sign and for a seasons, and for seasons and days and years." Right? So the moon and the sun is to give you a sign of season, when a season coming in, when the day is coming in, and when what year you're in. That way the moon and the sun was created for. Not the calendar, not the Roman calendar that we just go by. That which says that Saturday is the Sabbath day. Right? This is not a big hard thing to understand. Right? But for you people so ignorant and so stuck in religion that you're failing to understand these things. Right? I'm going to a scripture here. The King James Version Apocrypha. Right? So this is a attachment to the Holy Bible, which was taken out. King James Version, right? King James Version, Holy Bible. This is a version of the Bible that has been taken out. And if you go back to the 1611 version of the King James Bible, it have the Apocrypha in it. Right? So for those of you who don't know, I'm going to a scripture called Ecclesiasticus 43. Right? Better known as Sirach. Chapter 43. Right? Dealing with the same topic. Chapter 43, and I'll start from verse 6. "He made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times, and a sign of the world." So the scripture telling you here, he made the moon, right, also to serve in her season, for a declaration and time. And what is the season the moon does be governed by the moon? Spring or summer, spring, summer, winter, and autumn, or however the season does go. But what I'm sure about is that in order to know a new year coming in, is when everything does be anew, which is spring, when new leaves growing on the tree, right? When the earth replenishing, right? So that is how the Most High say that you will know a new year coming in, right? And if you check when spring does come in, is somewhere March or April, right? So when spring come in, it is go contrary to how it is the calendar showing us the month coming in January, the new year coming in January. So right there, you could see where it is, right? The Most High set up this so that those who have the wisdom will understand it, and those who don't have the wisdom wouldn't understand it. Because when I read over the scripture here in the book in the Apocrypha, right? Chapter 43, verse 6 and 7. "And he made the moon to serve in her season, for a declaration of times, and a sign of the world." Right? From the moon, right? From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. And that how the moon does decrease in her perfection to create a whole month. Right? From full moon to new moon, from full moon, right, to first quarter to last quarter, right? The second quarter is 4 quarters, so it does take 2 weeks, 2 quarters to get from full down to last quarter, and then from last quarter to new, or however it does go, if I have it correct. But I know 4 quarters make a whole. And if 1 week is 7, right? 7 by 4 is 28, right? And the 1 day of the new moon, so that is 29 days for the most it should have in a month. How come we calendar telling us, right? How come our calendar telling? So our calendar telling us that it has 30 and 32, 31 days in a month, right? So we know that is off and that is not accurate to the Most High, right? So the scripture telling you for the moon decreaseth in her perfection, right? The month is called after her name. And what is where month, the word month go back to? Moon, right? So the word month come from moon. So in order to know how, when a month coming in, right, you have to look at the moon. And how you're starting if to come the first day in a month. You have to know when is the first day, when the month starting, to know when is the first day to start to come from 1 to 7. Right? You can just look on the calendar because when the new moon come in, is the first day of the month. And I have seen many times the new moon come in on a Wednesday. And on the calendar it telling you that is the 7th or the 6th or the 4th. So who law you're going to respect? The Most High law or the law of man? Right? Because the Most High law tell you that the new moon is the beginning of the month. And man law give you that the calendar is go tell you when is the beginning of the month. So who you going and respect? Right? The month is called after her name, increasing in instrument, right? Increasing wonderfully in her changing, right? And that changing is the first quarter, second quarter, last quarter, third quarter, then full moon and new moon. So that's how that changing does come, right? So now, I'm going to read a scripture for you in the book of 7, Daniel chapter 7. Right? So you people could get a little clarification yet again. Right? Daniel chapter 7 verse 25. Right? And I shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change time and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. So this is how the beast, this book here talking about the vision that Daniel did see, right? And how they will speak great words against the Most High and think to change time and laws. And this was one of the way how to change the time and laws of the Most High, to think. Now the scripture also go on to say if it was possible they would deceive the very elect themselves. Right? So we know that some people wouldn't go get it and some people will have to get it. Because the Most High ain't gonna just send everybody into confusion on the face of the earth. The Most High is not foolish, the Most High is a wise one. The Most High not gonna let everybody fall into confusion. It must have some people he will reveal the truth unto, and it must have some people he will not. Right? Because everybody seems to think they have their idea, and it's not about your idea and my idea, it's about what is the truth. It have the truth and it have everybody else's truth. My truth, your truth, his truth, she truth. The hell away with all of us truth. The truth is what is. It has nothing else but the truth, and all the rest are lies. Right? So we read in here, all I coming out is the scriptures, and you people who does like to be talking all kind of thing. You can bring together no scriptures, and all you just be doing is talking. Right? But you seem to think this is a game or a joke. Right? So the scripture here for the last say that the last beast will think to change time and laws, and this is how they was able to change them time and laws. So I'm going to a scripture here now, right? In the book of 1 Samuel chapter 20, when it is King David, right, proving that the new moon is the first day of the month. Right? 1 Samuel chapter 20. Right? And here with David telling Jonathan here, right? 1 Samuel chapter 20 verse 18. Then Jonathan said unto David, tomorrow is a new moon, and thou shalt be missed, because thy seat will be empty. right? And that seat, if you read the story, David used to sit down with Jonathan's father, right, which was king in those days. His seat will be empty, and when thou hast stayed 3 days, then thou shalt go down quickly and come to the place where thou didst hide thyself when the business was in hand, and shall remain by the stone of Uzzel. So they had a business arrangement, right? And Jonathan telling him, after the 3 days, then we go embark on this business arrangement. And in the scriptures, why is the only day you're not permitted to do business on? No business arrangement. The Sabbath day. Or a high holy day. Right? That's how Israel used to do it back in the days. Right? The scripture go on to say in chapter 21. Same 1 Samuel chapter 21, right? Now therefore, what is under thy hand? Now, this is when David came out. I'll read from I'll read 21 verse 1, right? Then came David to Noab, the Amalek, the priest, right? And Amalek was afraid at the meeting of David, and he said unto him, why art thou alone, and no man with thee? And David said unto Amalek, the priest, the king had commanded me a business, and he said unto me, let no man know anything of the business whereby I send thee, and what I have commanded thee, right? And I have appointed my servants to such and such a place. Now therefore, what is under thy hand? Give me 5 loaves of the bread in my hand, right? Or what is there there is present? And the priest answered and said, right? And said, there is no common bread under thy hand, but there is the hollow bread. If young men have kept themselves at least from women, right? So David come out from the place he went and hide, and he meet the priest, right? Amalek, right? And he tell him, give him something that he have underneath the arm. And the priest tell him, this is not normal bread, this is not common bread. What I have underneath my hand is the hollow bread. And I go into a scripture in Leviticus chapter 24, right? Leviticus chapter 24. And because the priest and them used to have to do that, put that bread before the sanctuary of the Most High on a specific day. I'm going to read what day that was. And this is Leviticus chapter 24 verse 4. I'll start from 5. And thou shalt take fine flour and bake 12 cakes. Therefore 2 tenths deal shall be in 1 cake, and thou shalt set them in 2 rows, 6 on a row, upon a pure table before the Lord, right? And thou shalt put pure frankincense upon each row, and it may be on the bread for a memorial, even an offering, right, made by fire unto the Lord. Every Sabbath day he shall set it in order before the Lord continually, being taken from the children of Israel for an everlasting covenant. So every Sabbath day the priest used to have to carry this bread in, a fresh batch of bread, and when the Sabbath day pass, right, he take away that batch of bread, right? So when David went and meet the priest, right, when David went and meet the priest Amalek, he was coming out with that bread. And when he's supposed to put the bread before the Lord on every Sabbath day, we're going back to 2 Samuel chapter 20, right? And I'm going back to chapter 20, and I'll read verse 27. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the 2nd day of the month. Listen. On the morrow, which was the 2nd day of the month, David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan, right, his son, where from cometh not the son of Jesse, neither yesterday nor today? So when the new moon come, he said it's the 2nd day after the new moon, right? So if you understand properly and you can't understand, then David say, for tomorrow is the new moon, let me go and hide myself. So the day before the new moon he hide himself, the day of the new moon he wasn't there. And here comes along King, right? And asking, where is David for? The day before and today, right? Which is the second day of the month we didn't see him. So which means proving that the new moon is the first day of the month. As I read for all them other scriptures and them for you. So the new moon, and when David come out, right? And it came to pass on this morrow, which was the second day of the month, and David's place was empty. And Saul, King Saul asked him, hey, where him? I ain't see this man yesterday and today. And we all know how the day does start. According to the Most High. The day doesn't start 12 o'clock in the middle of the night. The day does start, right? The evening is the lesser part of the day, and the daytime, when sun comes up, is the greater part of the day. So the evening and the morning was the first day. If you read in the book of Genesis, all along you see that, and the evening and the morning was the first day. So last night was the first part of today, and when the sun go down today, is the day will finish. Not like what the calendar does tell us that 12 o'clock in the night is the beginning of a new day. That is bullshit. That had nothing to do with God. And I read for in the book of Daniel that the last piece will think to change time and laws. And this is how they do it. To have you people head in spinning wrong and wrong in circles and you don't know yourself. Right? So, with that, I'd like to say shalom. Right? To all the, hoping this was edificational to some. Right? Mawat la babal, double honors again to the elders and apostles, all the brothers and them here in the Trinidad GMS camp. Shalom.